Murder. Welcome to the old rail bridge. Behind me are some rail tracks, and these are in Vancouver, Canada, and that's where I am. We're actually West Vancouver, Canada. My first time ever here, and I'm with this person. This is my sister.
Hi.
See? She's here because she's a photographer, and she's asked me to be her driver. Anyway, what's happening today is we're driving from West Vancouver here to the town of Whistler. A couple of hours up the coast here of British Columbia, but we're gonna take our sweet, sweet time and do all kinds of side trips and stop and see what we see on the way. We just arrived here yesterday, jet lagged in our own different ways. She came from Georgia, I came from Japan. We stayed at this place last night that was kind of run down, but very, very cheap for Vancouver. And we had breakfast at a place called what? Delaney's Coffee, which was excellent. Breakfast croissant with yogurt and berries and granolas and stuff, big old coffees. It is July here. It is super cool. It's probably 22, 23 degrees Celsius, which is how much in Fahrenheit?
I don't know. Maybe I would say it feels like it's 73, 74.
We're at the best of both worlds, kind of like we did over in Yonago. Here we got these boats enjoying the cool breezes of the sea. We have great mountains. Some of them, when I flew in to the airport, some of the mountains seem to have snow on top, which I can't believe because they're just trees up there. So it doesn't seem cold enough even here up north. But there might be snow. We might actually see some snow on this trip. British Columbia Highway 99, aka the Sea to Sky Highway, goes along Canada's majestic Pacific coast and into the dramatic rolling mountains further inland. Today's drive is from Vancouver to the town of Whistler. It's not a long drive if you avoid stops, but on this road trip, side roads and frequent diversions are the whole point. Right to the water's edge here. Daylight hours are long and there's a lot to explore in this remote part of Western Canada. Well, anyway, it's 10:30 or something in the morning, and we're gonna go on Highway 1, I think, up to the sea to, what's it called?
Sea to Sky.
Sea to Sky Highway.
Yeah.
Sea to Sky Highway, at least part of it up to Whistler today, and whatever's in between. The rent-a-car is right over here. All right, we're walking down the street here. We're still in West Vancouver because we haven't gone anywhere. It's like an hour later and we're still just driving around back and forth on these same roads, getting lost, getting found. Hello.
Hi.
Punching in people's cars and admiring the houses. Is that our car? I don't know what our rent-a-car looks like yet. What do I have to do? I control the keys, and I don't know how driving works anymore because I haven't really regularly driven in 20 years. So,
Do it again.
in my day, we didn't have these, we just had keys. Anyway, so we're driving around looking at these houses. We are going to get up to the road to Whistler eventually, but we're really enjoying the morning here in West Vancouver. Some of the interesting touches I have around town, and we're looking at these great houses on this part of Marine Drive down here. All these really unique houses all in a row along the road here. It is a noisy road, but other than that, it's a very nice atmosphere here. She's got 2 cameras. I don't know why there are 2 cameras, but I mean, I'm not saying she shouldn't have 2 cameras. Very sensitive. All right, we're getting closer. We're at the end of Marine Drive, which is petered out into nothing here, but I think this is the highway we want, Sea to Sky Highway. Can't get on. This is an exit ramp from it, and the on-ramp somewhere up there, but it's closed. The point of all this is that we're closer, but we're not really closer. We're physically closer, but we're not any closer from actually getting on, but it doesn't matter because it's so nice. Saw some more fishes. Okay, we've made it onto Highway 99 North, the Sea to Sky Highway, and already we're looking out over this water. It's hard to get footage of it, but trust me, it's nice. Looking out over this water, there's these big boats, like cruise ships or something, going back and forth, kicking up white water behind them. And the water's all blue, and there's all these islands. The mountains on the other side of the water have snow on top. That's superb. I gotta merge, hold on. Pretty cool so far. We keep going on these little side roads. We're really looking for a gas station, but sort of accidentally getting lost in all these residential roads, and she keeps jumping out to take pictures, and can you blame her? Took another little side road for no reason, ended up at what appears to be a ferry terminal. Anyway, I'm not taking a ferry, but there's this really cool building, and the side of it kind of merges, kind of a mixture between, it's the level between mural and graffiti, and I like it. Save the caribou, it says. And what a setting. And look at the water, the super green water. Unbelievable. An actual viewpoint here. Sorry for the noise. An actual viewpoint here on the highway. It's the first we've seen, despite what I would say would be plenty of opportunities, because there's a lot of good views that were kind of hard to see from the road because of the walls and stuff. But here is one with the snowy mountain peak behind, and this one has a monument. This was dedicated to somebody. All right, It's Giuseppe Garibaldi, and I think that mountain back there is Mount Garibaldi, the highest peak. And by the way, we're in a town, or on the outskirts of a town called Squamish. First of all, the Squamish language looks amazing. I don't know how to pronounce any of it, so I can't tell you the place names, but it looks really cool. It's on a lot of signs around here. And the sign was explaining that back in the day, the young warriors of the Squamish people used to like race their canoes across the water, and then they would climb up the rock face as fast as they could, and then climb back down and then dive into the ice cold waters as sort of a test of strength. I'm not going to be doing that today. I'm going to get back in my air-conditioned car here and continue down the road. Well, we stopped off at Shannon Falls, which is a fantastically high waterfall here. A short hike from the parking area. And it's the third highest in British Columbia. Third highest falls in British Columbia. So we saw it, went to this nice little public viewing area where everybody was taking their pictures. We took our pictures. And now we're on a secret side path that climbs up these steep steps. And apparently you can get so close that you get sprayed with the mist of the falls. Well, maybe it's the wind, but we're not getting misty today from the falls, but this is a closer point of view, so you can see them even better. I hope this camera can pick it up pretty well. All right, we've ended up at the place you need to end up in Canada, of course, the Tim Hortons. It's 4 p.m. We're finally eating lunch. We did get gas finally, except the gas pump was confusing because I don't drive normally, so it asked me how much I wanted to prepay, and I didn't want to prepay at all. I wanted to pay for a full tank, but I had to, it's a full thing. But we got some gas, we got half a tank now. What did you get for your lunch?
Chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup from Tim Hortons. How about that? With a bun that we didn't know about, and some crackers and butter for the roll. Yeah. And I got a wrap. What was it called? Cilantro something. No. Lime.
Crispy chicken cilantro lime loaded wrap.
Crispy chicken cilantro lime loaded wrap. And here we go. So after Tim Hortons, we came down here, we took a side road called Squamish Valley Road, and I thought there was gonna be all kinds of cool stuff all over it, and turns out there was mostly trees. I thought there was gonna be like a lot of houses and farms and kind of interesting little old rustic things to take a picture of. There was nothing but trees. We just crossed this little one-lane bridge, came around the corner, and an amazing piece of British Columbian beauty. And I'm not the only one who is excited about the view here. bunch of little animals that I can't identify from here. We'll call them horse deers. Now that's an actual horse, I know that one. Look at all that snow behind them. Whew. We kept thinking we need to turn around, then I kept forgetting and getting distracted by stuff. We kept going, and we finally got out to the end of the road, or where it turns to dirt. I didn't want to take the rental car on that, so we turned around, but look at this place where it happens. This is a perfect little quiet, secluded farmland. It's gorgeous, all these horses and barns. It's truly amazing here. This is exactly what I wanted to see when we came down this road. I mean, you couldn't design anything more scenic than that. Well, maybe you could. I couldn't. The Tantalus Viewpoint. Look at this cool room at the Ava Hotel in Whistler. We made it to Whistler. Got adjoining rooms at this very swanky, I think, kind of hotel. And a view I think is pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it, but there are snowy mountains over there with the sun. The sun is just starting to get kind of orangish. So we are going to drive around town a little bit and look for a place that will have hopefully a really cool place, a really cool object for my sister to take a picture of while the sun is going down so it's orange. Maybe we're going to find something like that. We don't know where to go. We're going to look and then maybe find dinner. But anyway, this will be the end of the drive from Vancouver up to Whistler. What a lot of things happened today. I don't even remember them all, but it was great seeing everything on the drive and all the little pullouts and the turnoffs. A great place in Canada. So tomorrow we're driving up further north to a different town. It should be more of the same. In other words, more surprises and different unique stuff tomorrow. So see you then, and thanks for watching. This video continues in the extended version. See the whole thing, plus past and future extended videos, without ads, and get other special perks via my Patreon page by pledging support for my work exploring unusual and lesser-known destinations. Special thanks this week to Calvin Ferreira, Darcy Otranto, David Richley, Jacob Fatz, Lever Wong, Matt Kane, Michael Fedor, Nathaniel Holland, Omeyer, Ray Nichols, Samantha, and Will Phillips. You can also sign up for my free weekly email newsletter, which features behind-the-scenes info and early links to videos before they're public. Links to both are in the video description. And thanks for wandering around with me.